Hey guys, Mitchell here from the Basement Bunker, and today I'm going to be doing um, basically a complete tear apart to vacuum the dust out of this NZXT Phantom Full Tire Enthusiast case, um, and then do a rebuild and sort of film it for those who like seeing shit like this, and for those who want to learn how to build a computer from bottom up. So I have fans here, down at the bottom, up top, and one on the back, and one on the front. I have another video on that, you can check it out, but basically this thing's been running non-stop for about, say just over a month, just under a month maybe, or a month exactly, without being clean, and I think every computer should be vacuumed out at least once a month, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to open it up, and show you what's inside. Okay, so I've taken the side panel off now, and it's a pretty clean case. I have all the wires hidden in the back. I'm going to be opening up that side too because I'm assuming dust might be back there. But as you can see, one of the main reasons why I decided to actually do this vacuum was my CPU was getting pretty hot when I was doing things. It was when I was gaming or whatnot, or video editing. It would go to like 70 degrees, and you can see on the heat coil there is quite a bit of dust caked on it, so I'm sure that's hindering its ability to do a proper cool. So that was my main reason. My graphics card doesn't seem too bad. It's a an MSI GTX 660 Ti, the Power Edition. I have some fan filters on here. There's actually some dust buildup on them. If I move away, you can see where I push with my finger. So at least you know those fan filters are working, which is nice because this is the first time I've ran with fan filters on a case. And this is the side panel. Has 3 fans, and if you look, you can see these are intakes on this side, but I have fan filters on the fan. I think I might switch them to the back of them. It's easier to clean that way. And generally, the fan filters seem to be doing a pretty good job, actually. There's a lot less dust than I would have expected to be on the fan blades themselves. Usually it's pretty bad. But yeah, it's good news. And these are all my hard drives. There's just your usual amount of dust buildup on there. Much less than, like I said originally, I thought there would be. I've ran a case before. It was Antax that's over there that didn't have fan filters, and I would run it for a month, and when the month was over, I'd take out the cartridge for the hard drives. There's 2 bays, and each bay held 3, and there was so much dust on them I couldn't even read the stickers on the hard drive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out this motherboard, take out these hard drives, and then show you how to vacuum a CPU. I will be right back. Hey, just before I took this out, I wanted to make sure you guys know one thing about these switches here. These are for your switches on your case, so your power switch, power LED, HDD light. Really important that before you take these out, you take a picture or remind yourselves what goes where. That way when you put them back in, it will be easy to put together. You don't have to troubleshoot and find out which goes where. So make sure you remember that before you do anything. Alright, so I have my motherboard out. I'm not going to take the RAM out because I really hate taking RAM out. And this is what the case inside looks like right now. So what I'm going to do is, you need to take this fan off the heatsink to get the dust out from underneath. So to do this, you need to twist these tabs, or like little, twist them basically the opposite way that the arrow says you twist them. I'm going to try to do it with one hand. If not, I might need to put the camera down. Oh, fucker. Okay. And then basically, if you twisted them all right, it should just pop out. Like this. Okay. Now, keep in mind, you do not want to touch the gel that's on the bottom. You want to keep that stuff on there. That's to make so that your processor will make full contact with the heat element, the heat sink. So do not remove the gel. Okay. So now you have your heat sink off. This is a stock heat sink. It just came with the processor. And then basically what you want to do is you're just gonna pull. So you're gonna go. It's if you look, there are little latches that are latched on, but since it's plastic, you can just bend it. So you're just gonna pull that up and pop this whole thing off. Okay, so I took it off. Here's the heat sink. You can see how much dust is on there. The last thing you want is a lot of dust on your heatsink, to be honest. It's not very good. Whenever you put it down, remember, keep the gel side face up so it doesn't fall off. And then here's the fan. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't personally believe it's a big deal. You have some dust on your fan blades. Majority is you want it off this because this is where the heat's coming up, and the dust sort of keeps it there and does not let it flow up. Okay. Motherboard and whatnot, you can see here. Didn't get that. Got some dust around the fan, but other than that, it's pretty clean. We have a Dyson ball vacuum over here. I just emptied it, so I'm gonna fire it up, vacuum it off, and see how much dust we collect from vacuuming this case. Okay, so I just finished vacuuming. You can see now I vacuumed up the heatsink, and you can see completely through the coils here, which is a good sign, meaning you got all the dust out. Now it comes to putting it back on. So you need to make sure you do this right because you want full contact with your CPU so it doesn't die on you when it overheats. So what I recommend doing is, I gotta put this camera down, but you want to attach this fan back on top. So remember that this the gel part is going to go onto the CPU, so this copper part up here, that's going to be the facing up, and your fan's going to go on top of that. Ideally what you want is you want the clips to go on the straight edges of the coil here when you put your fan back on. So I'm going to do that and then show you to attach it back to your motherboard. So the fan's back on. I noticed I said the clips go on the straight parts. They don't technically. The straight parts sort of go on all four sides, and then the clips clip just on the curved part. Easiest way to put this on is to have it go down nice and even. Don't force one side down then the other. You will not get it on and you'll hurt your fingers because thin metal and skin don't usually go well together. So putting this back on your CPU. Doesn't matter if the Intel sticker's up or down. I just generally find putting it up because then your wire fits nicely for the CPU fan power. And I'm kind of anal like that. I don't like things upside down. So you put this in. Okay, you place it on top. You have the 4 prongs sort of sitting in the holes here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push down so you hear a click, and then you're going to turn and lock in the little pin here. Okay, if you don't hear the click when you push down, it means you didn't go through all the way and your CPU is not locked in. Push down, click, then turn. Okay, next one, push down, click, then turn, and the last one, push down, click, and turn. Okay, once all 4 pins have popped in, and you think they have, one way to check is you flip the back over, and if you look, these plastic pieces coming through the back, that's the CPU pins. So you want to make sure they're all back there. This one's broken out, like it's just a broken pin, so it doesn't come through all the way. But as long as you look at the bottom of your CPU and you see you have full contact with the heat sink, like there's no gaps, you're good to go. Another thing you want to do is you want to take your CPU, give it a good shake, make sure it's not bouncy or anything. And so if I put my motherboard down, the CPU is not going anywhere. Good job. You did it. Congratulations. Make sure you plug your CPU fan back in your CPU fan port on your motherboard. Otherwise, you'll get a CPU fan error every time you boot up, and it's annoying. Your CPU fan won't not work It'll still work if you plug it in another fan port. It's just you won't. You'll get the CPU fan air. And I think plugging in the CPU port on the motherboard, it will actually help you increase and decrease your fan speed automatically when your CPU gets hotter than usual. Okay. Now that since that's done, screws and stuff. Okay, this motherboard's gonna go back in here. I decided I'm not gonna take out all this crap over here because I don't really feel like it right now, and I got some other stuff to do. Just mainly, my main goal was to vacuum out the heatsink on the CPU, which I have. Oh, and I ended up doing the side fans. I vacuumed those too because those are pretty dusty. I think I have one more fan on the front I'm gonna do, and then I will put this all back together for you. So the motherboard's back in. There was 9 screws I had to screw in on this thing. Generally motherboards are like, they go 3 screws at the top, 3 screws down the middle, and then 3 screws down the bottom. If you are lazy and or something's broken on your case and you can't screw in all of them, I highly recommend you do the one that's close to your power input for the motherboard. This massive one, there's a lot of tugging on there. One that's close to your SATA ports, one at the top and then one at the bottom here, and then definitely one by all your PCI slots, because when you put cards in or out and whatnot, there's a lot of weight that rests on this thing, so you want to make sure it's in securely. But there you go, it's all put back together. Just gonna plug those back in, plug the power controls back in, shut the case, and then boot it up. I'm not going to show you guys that. Oh, obviously this thing I need to put back in this bad boy here. And this is my sound card for my Razer TMA headphones. So yeah, think of this as spring cleaning, guys. Everyone should vacuum out their case. Really, you should vacuum out your CPU, heatsink. That's just want to show you how to do it, and that's how. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care of your computers. They do what you want. Make sure you take care of them. Alright, I will see you guys next time.